It's ready now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, hello, good afternoon or morning if you are in Europe, and welcome to this HundrED webinar. My name is Kati, and today we are discussing about my innovation, the House of Learning. Now we are here in Singapore with one of the school who is using House of Learning. And we all know that the learning is the most efficient when the learner is motivated and knows what he is targeting at and can learn the way that suits him the best. All learners are different and they learn differently, right? I used to be a classroom teacher in Finland, and I realized that I could do so much more to help the children to learn better. I wanted to provide more target-oriented, personalized learning experiences, but I just didn't have to prepare tools for that. Then I started to develop the concept behind House of Learning. That was about 5 years ago, I think. And soon hundreds of teachers in Finland were using the concept. And last year we then decided to commercialize the concept as a digital service, and the House of Learning application was created. And Samuel, will you tell us where we are now?
Sure. So my name is Samuel. I'm the CEO of House of Learning, and my background is software entrepreneur. And I met with Kati like a year and a half ago, and I got very excited about the idea, about concept that really helps children to learn better and actually helped teachers work as well so much. So we then decided to create a digital service and to really enable to scale the application for, in Finland especially, around the world. And the key of the application is web-based, so it doesn't require like any installation or anything. The key is really to, in a very simple manner, bring all the targets, like all the hard targets from the curriculum, and like all the softer targets, like the ATLs from IB or 21st century skills, in a very understandable, easy to use format for the children. The application is for the children specifically, and when they are using that, they really start to understand why they are at school, what they are actually learning, and because they understand that and it can be personalized, it really helps them to learn and take ownership of learning. And when you are studying, when you are learning the things that are coming from the curriculum, the STEM topics or history or literature or whatever, the most important thing is that at the same time you are actually learning to learn, and you automatically become like a lifelong learner. So that's really the key of the application. And it's you probably don't see it, but it looks like this. Very easy to use and intuitive application with all the topics from the whatever curriculum that you are using. Now we have the IB curriculum implemented and the Finnish new curriculum implemented, but it's very easy to create new curriculums there. But let's introduce these two guys who are sitting here with their ties. So why don't you guys tell me where we are and who you are?
Lovely. So my name is Jay Thompson, and I'm the Head of Educational Technology here at GEMS. It was not too long ago that I was presenting at a conference, and I saw House of Learning there, and really captured my attention about looking for a tool that would help our students. Something we were really lacking was really encouraging that sense of reflection and self-ownership. So when we first met with you in Shadow, it was like, wow, this is something which could really help and benefit our students.
Right.
So my role here at the school is looking across kindergarten to grade 12 and looking at how we leverage technology to support students' learning and teaching within the school.
And Mark.
Okay, yeah, I'm Mark Gardner. I'm the curriculum coordinator for the NYP and the IGCSE here at school, so that's from grade 6 through to grade 10. Part of the reason for why we think this project is good for us is because reflection is an inherent part of the IB curriculum. And one of the things, it's not just about what students learn, it's how they learn it, how they reflect, how they then use that reflection to build on that learning. And I think what this tool does is it gives us a structured approach so students can apply it across all subject groups and then start to see similarities, maybe differences between their attainment in different subject groups, but it allows them to effectively identify strengths and weaknesses across all subject areas to be able to action plan and continue that development of the learning right the way through the program.
Okay. So you're now starting to pilot the system on the 6th grade. So what are you expecting to come out of the pilot?
Yeah, so I guess here at GEMS we're about looking at new tools that are coming around and how they might support our students. So I guess first for us was about going, let's start small, let's see how it can benefit the teachers and the students. So we made the decision to say, let's go with our grade 6 students. I guess the really important point is that with grade 6, they're in that transitional phase. So they've come out of primary school, they're heading into secondary school, a lot of change at that point in time. So really encouraging those skills around reflection, which ties in with the IB, and it's a really important part. So for us, we thought, let's start with grade 6, small group of teachers, and then expand our trial outwards. So our goal is, over the next few months, to look at how that tool is supporting the students, looking at how we make that change from the finished curriculum into an IB curriculum. And for us, it's been really exciting seeing how the tool can fit in with different types of curriculum, but because really key is the student at the end of the day. And I think it doesn't matter what curriculum we're using.
Exactly. I mean, we're focusing with the tool right now from K to 12 grades, but of course it's about learning in general. I mean, it could be applied with any learning, but being a startup, we can't just do everything that's in time.
And I think one of the difficulties I've found when I'm looking at different tools is that a lot of the tools at the moment focus in on a particular grade level or group of students. It's very hard to find a tool that can encompass the whole range. And I think what I really like about House of Learning is the fact that students either very young or very old, the interface was actually had the ability to interact with them, so it was very personalized. And I think for me, it's very hard to find a tool that will do that, and so that's what excites me as well moving forward.
Yeah, I think as well from a sort of curriculum viewpoint, one of the things that it will work really well to support is students' understanding of the curriculum. Like Jay's mentioned, we're using it in that transition year, from the primary years program to the mid-years program. And one of the things that really benefits the students is developing that understanding of the assessment criteria. And the reflections they're doing are linking clearly with that. And that is going to help them develop a robust understanding. So they understand how the criteria works, how they're measured against it, where they stand against it as well. And I think we've then got the potential to use the tool to introduce approaches to learning skills, so they start mapping the progress. There's opportunity to build in the International Baccalaureate Learner Profile traits as well.
Yeah.
So it really is going to allow them to reflect on all aspects of the IB and what it means to be a caring person or a critical thinker or take risks and be able to map the progress against all of those traits.
One of the things of the House of Learning in the foundation of the house, which we use as the metaphor when you are learning something, you're building your own house. In the foundation of the building, we have like these softer skills. In your case, we have implemented the ATLs there from the IB curriculum, but it is what we have heard, and we have similar things in Finland. We call them transversal competencies that are defined actually in the curriculum, but they are very difficult to bring into the everyday learning. So, which means that even though they are the most important things to learn over the years, I mean, learning to learn and media criticism and system thinking and problem solving, they are still very often being neglected in everyday life. And this is a tool where we try to help the teachers really to lay out those targets also for the children, but still the children would take the ownership of actually learning. How do you see so far house of learning as? I mean, typically teachers are not necessarily very eager to adopt new tools. I mean, their day is full of teaching and full of life. So
it's often, I find, when we're bringing in new tools into the school or new approaches to teaching, that I guess the biggest concern for a teacher is they're looking out for the needs of the students first. And
right.
So where they have a lot that needs to be done and a lot of requirements, an extra tool can sometimes be seen as a burden to them. So I guess when we're introducing these tools, we like to, when we're doing the trial, showcase, well, this is exactly how it benefits you. And very often then, other teachers will come on board and say, oh, what was this tool? I want to be a part of that.
Right.
And usually it grows like that, rather than enforcing everyone must use this tool.
Yeah.
So here at GEMS, we've got a technology group who are people who are real passionate about technology and learning. And so what we do is we introduce it to them, and they're our cheerleaders. They're the people that go out there and say, have you seen this? It's really helped me. And from there, the conversation grows. And I think with a tool like this, what we're finding is that the focus is taken off the teacher and put on the student. So now the student not only has ownership, but is empowered to actually know, where am I in my learning? Where am I heading? And where do I think I am? And it promotes that conversation with the teacher and the student. And I think that's really key, is that conversation's happening all the time. It shouldn't come to a grade at the end and people go, why did I get this grade? Well, there should be no shock. That journey should be about mentoring and conversation and two people together on it. And I think that's really useful in that tool.
Yeah, I mean, if you end up having a shock at the end of the semester, then you had a problem with communication.
Yeah. I think what it does as well, it consolidates that feedback across all subject groups, because without it, students and teachers will look at how well they're doing in one subject, but maybe not related to how they're doing in another. So this allows that bigger picture, so that those trends and patterns that students are attaining through the year.
One of the key things there is that it's visible and transparent. So anybody who has a role in the students' learning, like the parents, can see that can actually see what is the actual expectation level, what can be expected from these kids at this age. Where is my children? Where are their strengths, and where can I help them? And it brings so much help in the teacher-parent communication as well, because the expectation levels are set. So from the school's perspective, also since the parents they get more higher perceived value from the education, which is GEMS being a private school, which is of course important. It's an important thing for everybody, but specifically private schools when the parents are paying the bills.
And I think as well, the other thing it does, it helps students with that target setting and motivating them to reach those targets. You usually got the visualization of it within the tool as well.
Exactly.
And that gives students something to refer back to. And like I say, it just motivate them to see where they can potentially go to, and they can track that progress to reach the next stage of the goal.
Yeah.
I think it's really helpful from that perspective.
And I think it also it promotes conversation not only between student and teacher, but parent and student. Very often parents say, I don't know what my child's doing. You know, they come home, how was your day at school? It was good.
Yeah.
But now they can have a look at it, and this forms the basis where we can actually have a conversation about, oh, how are you doing? Well, why do you think your strength is here? What are you going to do to improve it? So I think generating those conversations is really powerful as well.
Another thing that actually comes as a side effect, but when you are using the tool, when the children and teachers are using the tool, it accumulates quite a lot of data, and quite dense data, which enables us then, or the school then, to really, for instance, detect learning difficulties or even social exclusion. It's very powerful in that.
And I think also, as students perceive strength in one area, as a teacher might say, well, actually, that they're not as high in that area, so they can actually target that, or vice versa, where they think the student may think they're very low and they're actually doing well. So it helps you direct to those conversations. We've actually thrown around the idea, we said, it'd be a very useful tool for teachers as well, having teachers self-reflecting on their journey and being able to start conversations when we have sessions where we're looking at their growth and their direction.
That actually comes in many conversations with the schools. Once they get into the tool, they realize the power of that. They start thinking about applying it in many different areas. Good. I think we are starting to run out of time here. Do we have some questions, actually? Okay, I have one question here at least. If there is a video explaining the concept of household learning in English, and if yes, where to find it? It's in the making, so real soon now, and additional pressure always helps, but we definitely need to do that. Well, was there another question? No.
Okay.
All right.
But I think if people would like to talk to us about our experiences and find out a little bit more from an international perspective, how we found the trial and our ideas moving forward, more than happy to field questions and
Perfect.
People. So,
Okay, good. And I have to say thank you for watching, and if you get interested or have anything to ask or comment, please contact us. You can find us in HundrED.org website or at houseoflearning.ao. Have a good weekend and see you.
Lovely.
See you soon.
And thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Being here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank
Thanks.
you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.